Hi, my name is Dara, and I want to tell you about a time when God used my weakness and sickness to show me that His Word in the Bible and His Spirit are real, true, relevant, and active in our everyday lives. This story starts when I was teaching English in another country. During my time there, I not only taught English, but also helped teach about God, the Bible, and the gospel to some students who were interested. Now, God clearly called me to go teach in this country, and He clearly made a way for me to go teach there. I knew I was obeying Him in going and in telling about His love to those who were there, but within the first week after arriving, I got extremely sick. I continued to be sick my entire time I was there. I was allergic to most of the food and became very, very weak. I didn't understand why God would tell me to go and open up a way for me to go and then allow me to get so sick. I knew some people even doubted whether I should have gone to teach in this country at all, which caused me to be ashamed of my weakness and sickness. I loved my job and the country I was in, but I decided to go back home after my year of teaching was over because I was so sick. One day towards the end of the school year, as I was starting to pack my things to go home, one of the girls I was teaching the Bible to came to help me pack. I started to complain to her about how I was ashamed to go home. I said that before I came to this country to teach, I was much prettier, stronger, and healthier, but now I've become so weak and ugly and sickly. I was afraid of what people would think of me back home. And just so you have an idea of why I felt this way, I have two pictures to show you. The first one is of a painting that someone asked to do of me right before I left the US to go teach. He actually painted over a picture he took of me, so it's an accurate depiction of what I looked like. The second picture was taken towards the end of my year teaching abroad. I was attempting to teach my students how to play American football in this picture. So after telling my friend how I felt about my health, my looks, and going home, she replied something along the lines of, "Dara, I don't love you because you are strong and pretty. Do you want to know why I love you? I love you because when we come to study the Bible with you, we always think you look so sick and tired and that you should go lay down and rest. But you say, no, studying the Bible is more important. I can sleep later." And so as soon as we start reading the Bible, you change. Your face changes, your voice changes, and all of a sudden you don't seem sick anymore. That is how I know God is real. And that is how I know God is in you. I can't fully express how much her words meant to me. They humbled me, encouraged me, and gave me so much joy. It reminded me of two passages in the Bible. I realized that 2 Corinthians 12:9 is true. God's grace really is sufficient. He gave me the grace and energy to teach my classes and the Bible, even though I didn't have the strength to do much else. And He showed me that His power really is clearly shown in my weakness. He used my weak body to demonstrate His power to the students that studied the Bible with me. And He showed me that 2 Corinthians 4:6-7 is also true. It says, "For God, who said, 'Let light shine out of darkness,' has shone in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this surpassing power belongs to God and not to us." He really did put His power through His Spirit in my body, which was so weak and fragile, like a jar of clay. And my weakness really did show that the power to teach came from Him and not from me. I saw Romans 8:28 clearly in my life. He really does work all things, even sickness, out for good. All this caused me to pray, God, if it took me being so sick in order for others to see you at work, it was all worth it. Thank you for using me. God really does love us and never wastes any of our sufferings. He promises in Hebrews 13, verse 5, that he will never leave us or forsake us. He is with us and at work for good in our weaknesses. He doesn't call us to make ourselves strong. He calls us to be strong in him, to rely on him and trust him. And he will use us the way that he wants to, even in our weaknesses, to bring great glory to himself. These truths have brought so much peace and rest to my life. So I hope this encourages you as it did me, and it reminds you that God really does love us, even through the hard times and in our weaknesses. He is at work, even if we don't see it or feel it at the time. He is so faithful and trustworthy, and I pray that you are able to find the peace and rest that comes from completely trusting him. Thank you for listening.